Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I am going to be giving you my Taurus August 2018 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as August goes, the Sun will be in Leo from the 1st until the 23rd, and the 4th house will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Taurus at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on the home, family, emotional security, people that he or she may be close to home with, foundations, roots, traditions, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, the latter part of life, and who Taurus may be at the core. Now, given that this is Leo energy, this could be done with a lot of Leo-like ferocity, even pride, extravagance. It could be spending a lot on matters for the end of life, getting prepared for that, on the home. Also, these fourth house matters may be done with a lot of dignity, fortitude, courage, self-assuredness, and confidence as well. So, anyway, well, the next thing up is that as far as August goes, the Sun will be in Virgo from the 23rd until the 31st. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on love, romance, children, gambling even, speculation, fun, amusement, enjoyment, creative endeavors, hobbies and sports, and perhaps even popularity as well. Now, given that this is Virgo energy, this could be done with a lot of Virgo-like analysis in a very systematic, methodical manner, perhaps with a lot of pensive energy. It could be done in a very thoughtful manner, being very punctilious with details, meticulousness. This could be a lot of energy into intellectual and analytical amusement and enjoyment. Also, too, these 5th house matters might be done in a very organized manner and really analytical as well. Anyway, there will be a partial solar eclipse on August 11th, which is like a new moon, but only, it's going to be, could be very inflated and enlarged in terms of its impact and effect. It's basically, it's like a new moon, but as I stated, more enlarged and really in terms of its impact and effect, and could also have a more sustained impact on the person. It could be something, too, where there might be something more life-altering that may occur because of this. So, and really, and sometimes I even see this as even being fated meetings at times that could have a very life-altering effect on the individual. Given this is the 4th house, this could be a new Leo family member or someone close to home. It could be a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or one that may embody Leo-like characteristics. It could also be really expressing more, really maybe leadership qualities in terms of traditions at this time, and really having being able. It might also indicate where you might have a new period, maybe of being more extravagant in terms of spending on the end of life, getting more prepared for this, maybe more pride and dignity in traditions and your roots. And it could be in some cases the purchase of a new home, which of course you might be spending more, exorbitant amount on, because you're talking about Leo energy. And it could, and this is something that could be very life-altering, perhaps. And maybe now a new expression maybe of dominance in your home, more of like an authority, person where you're more expressing more authoritative qualities and being more of that dominant person in your home as well. And also just really perhaps really coming into maybe more magnanimous and generous people, or even a person that you feel close to home with at this time. So anyway, Well, the next thing I want to talk about is the full moon. There will be a full moon in Pisces on August 26th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So at this time for Taurus, well, Taurus might simply become exasperated, tired, full, so to speak, perhaps at a deceptive or duplicitous friend or an acquaintance. It could even be somebody that might be perhaps somebody that might be into drugs or alcohol, or somebody that is very nebulous and unclear, and could be just somebody that doesn't have much direction in their life, and you might at this time just had enough of the connection with this person. And this could also be where you might become finally tired of yourself, maybe having a nebulous or unclear future, or even the culmination or completion of a Pisces-like goal or aspiration. It could be the ending, perhaps something connected with the metaphysical, which can include astrology, something with chemistry, photography, dancing even, something or poetry, something that could be Pisces related, something with pharmaceutical work perhaps. So anyway, also too, this could be about expressing a lot of full self-sacrificing and compassion and idealistic energy into groups, into clubs, organizations at this time, and maybe even that energy with friends and acquaintances in a time where maybe you might be expressing really about stronger idealism for the future, perhaps. And it could be too, I mean, and also too, this could be about, I mean, when you're talking about a full moon in Pisces, I mean, full moon energy could be about a revelation or unveiling. Now, this could be, again, about maybe a friend or an acquaintance that might, maybe has betrayed you or something, or again, going back to the duplicitous, deceptive things with friends. It could be where this person's character has been revealed to you. And anyway, or maybe a friend reveals that they're addicted to some drug, or they're involved in alcohol strongly. Something like that could happen at this time. So anyway, next thing up is Mercury will be in Leo. It will be retrograde from the 1st until the 19th. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time for Taurus, there could be a very strong review of extroversion and gregariousness with people in your family life, people you feel close to home with. And you might be thinking about, well, am I being extroverted and gregarious enough with these people, or maybe too much? And also, too, maybe this could also manifest perhaps as being a conversation dominator with people that you're close to home with, or maybe people in your home and family life. Also, too, remember that Mercury can also be about siblings. So it could be that Leo siblings might be more prominent in your traditions, your home and family life, and foundations as well. And this could be, about creative writing in the home as well at this time. And maybe thinking generously about the end of life and whether you might have to spend a little bit more than maybe you intended to, as far as that goes, and maybe speaking with a lot of authority and conviction about those matters as well, and thinking about who you are actually at the core, perhaps. So anyway, but remember that Leo energy could sometimes be arrogant and egotistical, so don't act like you're necessarily a know-it-all on various whatever subjects it might be with home and family members and people you may be close to home with. Anyway, next thing up is Venus will be in Virgo as far as August goes, from the 1st until the 6th. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be perhaps a strong love and enjoyment for analytical fun and amusement. It could be extrapolation of data in sports such as fantasy football, for example. Taurus, if unattached, you might find a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant at an entertainment venue perhaps, or maybe at a place where you share a certain hobby or creative interest with somebody, a place of amusement. It could also be maybe the love of health and fitness could lead to more popularity, such as getting involved at a gym, for example, at a health and fitness club. And also the way this can manifest perhaps is spending frugally on children and lovers and even things of a speculative nature at this time. So anyway, and it could also be about the way this can manifest too is perhaps the enjoyment of analyzing and criticizing lovers and children even perhaps. So anyway, next thing up is Venus will be in Libra as far as August goes from the 6th until the 31st. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could be about perhaps valuing and maybe even perhaps enjoying art in the daily routine perhaps. This could also manifest perhaps in valuing refinement, tact, and diplomacy in aunts and uncles, people prominent in your daily routine. It could be fellow employees, perhaps people you work with, people that figure strongly in your health life as well. And also about maybe valuing a balanced diet and health regime at this time as well. Could maybe one buy a scale for health reasons? Well, that could be possible. Maybe playing Libra-like games with people that you work with, perhaps fellow employees or the aunts and uncles, if they have a Law and Order game, for example. Something that might be Libra related, and maybe the enjoyment of artistic things with people that are in your daily routine as well. Anyway, next thing up is Mars will be in Aquarius as far as August goes. From the 1st until the 13th will be retrograde, and the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could be about putting a lot of vitality and energy into one's career, reputation, a lot of abundant, selfless humanitarian energy, perhaps might affect one's reputation and public image. And also this could manifest perhaps in unpredictable and unusual arguments with the dominant parent, perhaps with authority figures at this time. You might become angry with idiosyncratic, bizarre, and unusual behavior from 10th house people, such as the dominant parent, people prominent in your career, and authority figures as well. So this could also be the way this can manifest. Remember, being retrograde, it could be going back perhaps to maybe some kind of Aquarius-like energy that you were expending, maybe like energy on Aquarius-like things, I should say, that were tied into your career. It could be something connected with computers, electronics, astrology, aerospace, astronomy, rocket science in some cases. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, well, Mars will be in Capricorn as far as August goes. From the 13th until the 31st, it will be retrograde for most of that period, and the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time for Taurus, well, this could be about a lot of disciplined, serious energy into higher education, religion, in-laws, publishing, perhaps even grandchildren. There might be arguments, or even being retro, going back to some arguments over responsibilities that are connected with in-laws and grandchildren as well at this time. And a lot of energy, this could be a lot of consistent, regimented type energy into Capricorn. I mean, it could be into 9th house matters, such as it could be publishing, maybe even traveling abroad, things that are connected with religion, a religious congregation perhaps, could be publishing, and matters with, and perhaps with in-laws and grandchildren as well at this time. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Jupiter will be in Scorpio, and the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So at this time, as I've talked about previously, Jupiter, though very strongly benign and benevolent, could be paradoxical. It could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. It could enlarge and expand surreptitious, nefarious, and even manipulative behavior, perhaps from a significant other, others you know in general, prominent relationships, even the grandmother perhaps, and even open adversaries as well. Now, also too, this could be fortuitous for maybe a transformation in intimate relationships, or I'm sorry, I should say relationships, and going beyond the superficial and subterfuge in seventh house matters. It could be open enemies, the significant other, maybe legal issues at this time. And given, I mean, this could also manifest in having a really profound, maybe philosophy about relationships and partnership situations, and also having, this could be fortuitous for Scorpio, like perhaps business partnerships at this time, something connected with the occult, supernatural astrology, locksmithing, investigation, perhaps embalming, something that could be Scorpio related. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, well, Saturn will be in Capricorn still. The ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, for Taurus, well, this could be about dealing with restrictions and limitations in matters with publishing, with in-laws, grandchildren, with traveling abroad. Perhaps it could be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy. Another way this can manifest perhaps is taking care of a debilitated or sickly in-law or grandchild, maybe someone you know well in a religious congregation. It could be something that could be Capricorn related, such as the knees, the bones, or the joints, and this could be making you feel somewhat forlorn and dejected as well. Also, too, this could be about giving yourself maybe more structure and discipline in ninth house matters, such as religion and higher education. And also, you might, maybe in some cases, there could be some government restriction that might be prohibiting you from traveling abroad, or maybe there's certain places that you're having difficulty going to because of this. And also, this is about taking responsibility, perhaps in things that are maybe somewhat regimented and very consistent, that are ninth house matters, such as matters with publishing and higher education at this time, and maybe, I mean, traveling abroad, and maybe even matters pertaining to in-laws and grandchildren. Anyway, well, the next thing up is Uranus will be in Taurus still. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So at this time, well, in some cases for Taurus, this could be about an unusual change in the appearance, especially if this is actually hitting the actual first house in one's natal chart. Really maybe coming across more innovative, ingenious, and unpredictable than usual. This could be also about, I mean, how maybe Taurus friendships, or Taurus, or maybe friendships that embody Taurus-like characteristics, they may affect your outlook and maybe inspire you to new beginnings and figure prominently in that. And also, there might be a little greater propensity or danger for an electric shock and getting electricity at this time. Remember, Uranus is connected with electricity, and we are talking about the first house. And maybe there might be, you might come across a little bit more unusual on a first impression at this time. And also, too, really, this could be a time where you might be more, inclined toward, formulation of maybe new money-making ideas, perhaps, which might change, a little bit, maybe more how you come across to others. It could make you, appear a little bit more of a positive person. It just all, it could have really, those are some things to look at as far as this goes. And it could also lead to maybe new beginnings as well, the formulation of new maybe monetary plans as well, especially if you come up with a new idea to make money that obviously could be tied into a new beginning for you. Anyway, next thing up is Neptune will be in Pisces still, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, Well, for Taurus, I mean, it might be where your future might be very nebulous and uncertain. I'm having this actual transit right now in my natal chart, and I just feel like, my future is almost dissipating and dwindling away, and it's very nebulous and unclear at this time. And also, you might be experiencing some delusion and deception with matters with friends and acquaintances. Be careful of false prophets and mediums, psychics that might try to give you the wrong information in terms of your aspirations and goals at this time. And another thing to look at too, as far as this goes, you might be dealing with friends that might be acquaintances that might be involved with drugs and alcohol at this time as well. Remember, the 11th house is also stepchildren, so if applicable, these matters can pertain to them perhaps as well. And 11th house, people that are connected with the 11th house, again, they might be saying a little bit more nebulous and unclear than usual at this time. But on a positive manner, the way this can manifest perhaps is that you might be setting some goals and aspirations that are Neptune related, such as poetry, dancing, the metaphysical, which can include astrology, could be photography, chemistry, pharmaceutical, something pharmaceutical related, special effects, illusion, something with illusion, working as a magician perhaps. So anyway, well, next thing up is Pluto will be in Capricorn still, so the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So at this time, well, for Taurus, this could manifest perhaps in some isolated cases covert government work. It could suggest too that terrorism might impact your traveling abroad, might make you feel somewhat apprehensive about doing this. A lot of people, I mean, I actually have Capricorn on my 9th house in my natal chart, and I have never traveled out of the country. So, I mean, in Pluto, if Pluto's actually hitting your 9th, well, you understand that, I mean, Pluto can be about obliteration and destruction. So, but anyway, it could also be the way this could manifest. It could be power struggles with people that you might be in a religious congregation with, in-laws, grandchildren, maybe foreigners as well. And really, too, and sadly, again, I'm going to go back. I mean, the dreaded D word, this could actually indicate a literal death in some cases of an in-law or a grandchild, maybe someone you know well in a religious congregation, or maybe someone you also may know well at a college university. So anyway, sorry about that. But anyway, what I want to get to is that this could also be about maybe making a transformation connected with maybe a religion or a philosophy at this time as well. Anyway, next thing up is the North Node will be in Leo. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, for Taurus, this could be, I mean, when you're talking about the North Node in transit, it could be about issues one may have to address or confront. In this case, this could be about confronting perhaps a domineering, overbearing, arrogant, even flamboyant or extravagant family member, someone you feel close to home with. It could even be somebody in a 4th house profession, perhaps such as culinary, cooking, some home-based worker, somebody in home renovation or remodeling. Could be somebody, and another thing too is that this could be about being directed toward maybe extravagance for the end of life, and maybe spending a little more than you anticipated for those matters, taking pride and dignity in one's roots and traditions, and really in their ancestry as well. Could be more extravagant home expenses, but also getting attention and recognition, being lauded and praised for what you do at home, and people that you're close to home with, people things you may do for those people as well. And also about really, it could be about being directed toward new foundations as well, and taking that, again, that Leo pride in them as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up is the Black Moon Lilith will still be in Capricorn, so the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Taurus, this could manifest perhaps Well, when you're talking about the Black Moon Lilith, it could be about the revelation or unveiling of maybe or of perhaps a formidable Capricorn like adversary in this case. And it could be a Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply one that embodies Capricorn-like characteristics. And it might be an in-law, a grandchild, someone you know at a religious congregation, someone at a college, university, maybe a foreigner you might meet through traveling abroad. Also, too, this could be about somebody exhibiting really strong negative Capricorn energy, someone expressing ruthless, tyrannical, overambitious, cold, callous, undemonstrative qualities. It could be an in-law, a grandchild, and really about, in some cases too, the way this could manifest. Remember, the Black Moon Lilith could be about what may put one in a strong state of trepidation or fear. And this could be, in some cases, about maybe having limitations or restrictions in perhaps what you want to publish at this time. I mean, I like doing my videos every day. And I certainly, I mean, I consider that a form of publishing. It might be through videos, but it is, you are publishing it in a way to the internet. And that would strongly put me in a strong fear of state of trepidation if I couldn't do that. So I think it's kind of applying to me in a sense. And anyway, well, last but not, well, actually, no, not last but not least. The next thing I want to talk about, we will have the Black Moon Lilith will be in Aquarius from, as far as August goes, from the 6th until the 31st. Sorry, before the Capricorn, Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn is August 1st to the 6th. Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius will be from the 6th until the 31st. The 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time for Taurus, well, this could be perhaps in some cases, I mean, formidable Aquarius adversary. It could be an Aquarius Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics. It could be someone prominent in your career. It could be the dominant parent, which is often the father. It could be an authority figure. Could also be, too, where somebody is exhibiting maybe a lot of bizarre, unusual, radical behavior at this time. It could be a dominant parent, which is the dominant parent, which is often the father. It could be somebody prominent in your career. It could be an authority figure, perhaps somebody that might play a role in your public image or reputation. Also, too, this is about, in some cases, I mean, for some Tauruses, unfortunately, maybe one might be revealed as some kind of fraud or charlatan at this time in their field, or it might be that as somebody 10th house related that they know may be revealed or unveiled as one. But it could, another way this could manifest, though, remember again that Black Moon Lilith could be about what could put one in a strong state of trepidation or fear. This could be about losing maybe the independence and freedom in matters connected with one's career and things that connected with notoriety and recognition. Or it could be where one might be in a state of fear or trepidation. What could put one in that state could be maybe a career that might be overly maybe monotonous or conventional or mundane. So anyway, last but not least, Chiron will be in Aries still, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So at this time for Taurus, well, in some cases with Taurus, this could indicate perhaps that sometimes acrimonious and angry actions might lead to imprisonment, or could be strongly tied into one's self-undoing. It could be maybe a lack of initiative and enterprise could lead to the self-undoing at this time. In isolated cases, this could be an onset of some kind of anger-related mental illness, especially if, depending on aspects this makes. If this makes say, an adverse aspect to your natal Mercury, for example, that could perhaps accentuate maybe those chances of happening. Now, also, too, this could be about maybe dealing, I mean, you could be dealing with maybe angry hidden adversaries at this time. There could be some combative situations in one's private life at this time that might be causing some emotional wounds and suffering, and maybe some battles. There might be some contentious situations and angry situations you're having with someone, might be prohibiting proper sleep even at this time with you, and maybe not you being aggressive and assertive enough to try to weed out people that may be hidden adversaries or enemies, and being confrontational enough, such as maybe calling someone out. You think that someone that you suspect may not be your friend, but maybe not really doing so, and as an example to keep using you as an, I'm just throwing that out there arbitrarily as an example. And maybe there's some also we're talking about Chiron and Aries. This could be issues with lack of worthiness. So this could be, I mean, for Taurus, being the 12th house being emphasized, and how maybe it tied in to secret sorrows, and maybe you don't feel like you're worthy of having some kind of private life at this time as well. Maybe for some reason, maybe you're having struggles with it, and you just might feel maybe you're just undeserving of one. So anyway, and also it could be too that maybe these feelings of unworthiness might not just about secret sorrows tied in with that, but may lead to solitude and seclusion being more emphasized than usual. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Taurus August 2018 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time, where I'm actually going to be talking about a story connected with what I believe combines astrology and God. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.